Now available on Tata Sky channel number 526.
Hello and welcome to the Property News here on Magic Bricks, now India's first property business channel. I'm Krishna Kumar. Let's take a look at the top stories that we're tracking. Your wait for the critical Goregaon-Mulund Link Road gets longer as bidders for construction of the crucial east-west connector have been shown the door over poor past records. The BMC will now invite fresh tenders. That is a Magic Bricks Now exclusive. Affordable housing major Poddar Developers enters into a joint venture with Satre Infrastructure to develop more than 150 homes in Chembur. The long-delayed DLF Mall of India officially opened its doors on Wednesday. The real estate heavyweight is expecting to generate over 250 crore rupees of rental income annually from its sixth mall in India. Another uber luxury mall is also in the works. Also in the news, it has been 1 year since two massive earthquakes rocked Nepal. Magic Bricks Now travels to the Himalayan kingdom, finds out how life has changed in Nepal in a year. Straight to the top story. Mumbai's civic body, the BMC, will recall tenders it issued for the Goregaon-Mulund Link Road. The reason? The companies that bid to build this tunnel have been named in the corporation's inquiry report for poor road construction and repairs. My colleague Disha Shah gets us this exclusive report.
BMC is getting tough when it comes to construction of roads and repairs in the city of Mumbai. As we all know that the civic body has received a lot of flack when it comes to poor construction of roads. But this is set to change as now the civic body is planning to take strict action against the contractors. In all this, what has affected is the construction of the first underground tunnel, which is Goregaon-Mulund Link Road, which connects from Goregaon to Mulund West. Big infrastructure companies like J. Kumar and Company, RK Madani Infra Projects and Relcon Infra Projects were the three successful bidders who had bid for the construction of the first phase of the tunnel. However, all these three companies have been named in the corporation's inquiry report into poor road construction and repairs. In fact, when we got in touch with BMC's Additional Municipal Commissioner Sanjay Mukherjee, he said that the committee is planning to blacklist all these three companies. He also went on to say that they have to recall the tenders for the first phase, which could easily delay the construction of the tunnel because they had set a target, they had set a deadline, which was March 2017 for the work for the construction to begin. But this will also see a delay. In fact, we also got in touch with all the three infrastructure companies, but as we speak, we did not get any response from any of the company. Just to give you a quick background, the 6-kilometer tunnel will connect from Goregaon to Mulund West. In fact, it will also improve the east-west connectivity across the city of Mumbai. And talking about the project highlight, the project aims to reduce traffic congestion, and also for the commuters, it will reduce the travelling time from 1.5 hours to approximately 25 minutes. This is Disha Shah for Magic Bricks Now.
On to the other big story that we're tracking over here. Mumbai's fastest growing residential market, Chembur, is the focus of a lot of new development after the launch of Central Park by Radius this month. Affordable housing major Poddar Developers has now inked a joint venture deal with the Satre Infrastructure for a slum rehabilitation project in Chembur. This is part of Poddar Developers' fourth slum rehabilitation project. What is in it for you as a home buyer? To tell us more about that, we are being joined now by Rohit Poddar, Managing Director of Poddar Developers. Rohit, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on the Property News and Magic Bricks. Now, take us through the deal, joint venture with the Satre Infrastructure for this SRA project at Chembur. What is the number of housing units that you're developing as part of this deal?
This is actually currently our fourth SRA project, but the first one to start construction so soon. So we hope to have construction started in the next month or so on the site. It's about 150 units, so it's a small project of about 1 lakh square feet. And this is the first of hopefully many projects in the central suburbs.
Rohit, I also wanted to inquire about your expansion plans. Are you planning to enter other micro markets at this point in time?
So basically, we're a central suburb player. So we're looking at Kalyan as a significant area and its periphery, Badlapur, Shahpur, and Karjat. then in the western suburbs Vasai, and in the harbour suburbs basically the periphery of Panvel. So that's really our affordable housing play in terms of economically weaker section, LIG and MIG. So we're hoping to launch all our projects in this current financial year between Q2, Q3 and Q4. Our land banks are basically in place, so we're just waiting for sort of regulation to really help us. In the slum space, we're looking to launch about 1 million square feet of projects, like I said, in the next 4 quarters. We should hopefully have all our projects rolled out, or at least started by the 31st of March of 2017. But we have projects launching in the next 2 weeks, so maybe 3 projects before the monsoon and the rest between Dussehra and the 31st of March.
Rohit, as we discuss your project, CREDAI and NAREDCO have signed an MOU with the Maharashtra government for affordable housing. Tell us, what is Poddar developers doing? What's the progress on that front?
The present government is extremely serious about pushing affordable housing. There are several policy issues that still need to be sorted out, from a single window clearance matter to zoning matters and things of that nature, which I think are being addressed over the next few weeks, if not few months. The single biggest issue with affordable housing, of course, is the long time it takes to get approvals, which should happen really within a month or 2 at the most. That is still very far away from seeing the light of day, from what we are able to understand.
Rohit, talking about housing for all, by 2022, the government had introduced several schemes, including PMAY. Has those made any difference, or is it just adding to more issues?
Well, there are clarifications that are required in PMAY. It's a good scheme, in theory. Currently, it's limited only to like municipalities and corporations, and most of for example, in Mumbai in particular, which I can speak of, knowing the area pretty well. In the MMR, very few affordable housing projects are within the municipality or corporate limits. They are actually in free zones. So you have to do a scheme which encourages stock creation or helps in the maximum part of the basket of projects, which this is not currently doing. So industry is making representations currently that extend the PMAY schemes to all parts of the all regions, irrespective of whether it's in a municipality or not. So whether it's in a free zone or a municipality, what difference does it make? You want to encourage creation of stock, and you want to give the customer some a decent deal if possible. So this 2.2 lakh rupee reduction should be extended to all areas and not just basically what it currently says. So if this happens, of course, there'll be more robust demand and sort of absorption rates, and more developers will come in to do the entry-level product.
All right, Rohit, before we let you go, tell us, project delays have been rampant in the real estate industry. Tell us what exactly are you doing to address those issues?
Well, for affordable housing in particular, all 4 bodies are working together, which is PIATA, CREDAI, MCHI, as well as NAREDCO. And each one of us has come out with a affordable housing policy that primarily talks about, amongst various other matters, single window clearance. And if it takes 2 years to get approvals, which is taking currently, then there's absolutely no incentive for other developers to enter this space. Poddar being a pure play affordable housing play, we've learned how to deal with the delays. But even we have 9 projects basically stuck, which have been delayed for almost up to 2 years now. With various litigation and between KDMC, for example, and petitioners who filed a RTI, PIL, it's got no basis in the law. So things have been stuck now since for almost 2 years. Now there's a forced relief from the court, but it should never have happened. MCGM hasn't come up with the new 2034 plans, so we're waiting for that to happen before we apply for permissions in the city. And of course now there's a ban in the city for new projects as well. So until all these things basically become clear and there's a clear path, there'll be, you'll have, prices which don't correct, because there's no creation of additional supply. Customers will keep sitting on the fence, and the overall situation will remain unhealthy. It's a question of creating more and more stress in the system, leading to NPAs. So of course you need a cleanup of the system and have regulation that basically supports all stakeholders, including the environmentalists.
All right, Rohit, we will let it go at that. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here on the Property News. Rohit Poddar of Poddar Developers. Moving on. DLF threw open the doors to its much-delayed Mall of India project in Noida today. In its first retail venture outside the Gurgaon market, DLF is expecting a rental income of at least 250 crore rupees. Our correspondent Deepa Rana gets you a peek at DLF's new destination mall.
After being delayed for about 4 years now, DLF has launched its first destination mall in Noida today. Now this mall is a total built-up area of 2 million square feet and has some of the biggest brands like H&M, Zara, Lifestyle and more. Now DLF plans to earn a monthly rental of about 250 crores annually from this mall and also plans to open another mall in Delhi's posh Tanakiapuri area soon.
All right, now Deepa also caught up with Pushpa Bector, Head and Executive Vice President, DLF Mall of India, who shared with us more information about the specifics of the mall. Listen in.
It is a 2 million square feet project. So it is a destination mall that we have created. And we're going to be having around 350 brands under one roof. We will also have around 70-80 kiosks interspersed on the bridges. So a lot of shopping, a lot of options, a lot of great experiences.
Ms. Bector, how are you positioning your mall?
We're positioning the mall as an international experience destination mall. You know, for the first time in the country, India can boast of a destination mall. And we are happy that as DLF, we are able to provide the destination mall the country deserves.
Who are your big clients and how much of the area have you leased out?
We've leased out around 95% of the space. The more important thing is that there are 250 brands that are already open for the customers to shop. And by May, we will be 80% trading, which is a huge first in the industry. It's been the fastest ramp up that the country has seen. In 5 months' time, from 0 to 250 brands and further going up to 300 brands is a record.
So is it a rental basis, is it revenue basis or is it a mix?
90% of the mall is minimum guarantee or revenue share, whichever is higher. We prefer this model because that way the relationship between the tenant and the developer is one of a positive nature, where both are looking at increasing their revenue and increasing the rental revenue in return. So it's a symbiotic relationship, and we at DLF believe in creating great relationships and with our tenant partners.
Sticking to DLF then, the company is in talks to hive off its rental arm and it expects to close the deal within this fiscal. Deepa caught up with Sriram Khattar, CEO rental business of DLF, and asked him about how much the company has invested in the mall. Listen.
The investment is in the region of 1700 crores.
Something about the zoning of the DLF mall.
The Mall of India, this is the first mall in the country which has been very, very specifically zoned. About 40% of the mall is zoned for F&B and entertainment. And this is the first time that more than 70 food options are available under one roof. Similarly, if you see the international brands, there's a complete zoning of international brands that are here. And some of them like H&M, Aeropostale, Gap are putting up their flagship stores here.
There were reports that DLF has initiated sales in their stake in rental arm. Are you looking forward to close that deal by end of this fiscal? We all know the potential buyers are GIC, Blackstone, but how are you looking forward to that deal, sir?
Yeah, I think the process of the deal has already been started, and we are looking forward to seeing its closure during the current fiscal, of course subject to regulatory and government approvals.
Any new malls in the pipeline?
Yes, we are putting up a uber luxury mall in Chanakyapuri, which was the erstwhile very iconic Chanakya cinema. And we are working on it, and we believe we'll be able to open it by the end of this year.
Maharashtra is in the grip of the worst water crisis in recent memory, and Mumbai and its suburbs are learning to make do with restricted water supply. Housing societies too are rising to the challenge and are adopting novel ways to save water. Sneha Rudra gets us this report.
Plastic water bottles are the prized possession of Andheri's model town society. They use these to save water. Homes in the society fill these bottles with water and place them inside flush tanks. The bottles take up space in the tank and cause lesser water to be used every time somebody uses the flush. In this way, model town residents save up to half a gallon of water every time the flush is used. This equals about 2 liters of water saved every time someone uses the flush in 222 homes across the society. The society has also invested in the more common rainwater harvesting system. Water from here is used in flush tanks.
Basically, we have literally treating water as yellow gold, liquid gold you can say. As from last several years, we are suffering from water shortage. So we know the value of water. We have also pasted a notice on each and every building how to save water.
Further east in Thane, outside Mumbai, Saket Complex has appointed the colony's children as water ambassadors.
Use less water while washing clothes.
Kids in every home have become a medium to convince their parents to conserve water. Thane is facing water cuts lasting up to 3 days every week as the civic body struggles to conserve water. The society has also shut down the fountain in the society's garden, a popular hangout with residents in the evening. What's more, the managing committee sends across plumbers to each home every week to inspect and repair leaking pipes.
As you are aware, the common thing is for everybody to go and tell the maidservants and the housewives or the guys who continuously shave and brush with their taps on, to advise them that this is not the way to do that. That is a simple thing which everybody knows. What we do is we go a step further to that. We have initiated a step where on every notice board in our 24 buildings, anybody passing that notice board or coming and standing near the lift, first what he sees is the notice board. And besides all the messages which are there, in bold capital letters, we have put a leaflet there saying save water. That's a visual message which is there. And this visual message we keep changing every week in terms of its size and in terms of its font and color, because that creates an impact on the minds of people. Anybody going up the lift or coming down the lift, the moment he comes down or goes up, the first thing what he says is saves water, which creates an impact.
Well, it looks like these housing societies have taken baby steps to deal with water crisis. However, their ideas and techniques are unique and innovative. In fact, they have fallen back on the age-old jugaad which Mumbai is famous for. With limited budget and resources, these housing societies have moved head-on and managed to save around 75 lakh litres of water. This is Neha Rudra for Magic Bricks Now.
Moving on, luxury homemakers are upping the ante by the day. An upcoming 50-storied residential tower at Goregaon West in Mumbai promises the buyer everything that a 7-star hotel has to offer, from sun decks in every apartment to a mini theatre at the society, banquet hall and convenience store. My colleague Disha Shah caught up with the developers of the Aristo Summit. Listen to what they had to say.
It's a very beautiful project. So for the viewers who are watching our channel, tell us what the project is about, this ambitious project about.
So basically, this is a very fantastic and very prominent locations in Goregaon. It is junction of Link Road and MG Road, more than around 450 frontage on the Link Road and 300 feet frontage on the MG Road. Very prominent location because Overcraft station, which is coming up within a year or so, metro station is next door. 2 bridges are directly joining from the highway. Very prominent and important locations.
So what is the ticket size that you're offering to a home buyer with this project?
2200, 2400 and 4000 square feet. And we are having all the approvals in place. Our title is crystal clear. We have given the construction work to L&T, a very renowned contractor, on a turnkey basis. Finishing also, they will complete the building, and we are targeting to complete the project in 2.5 years.
Will the project be developed in phases? How much total amount of units, and what is the price range that you're offering for a 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 4 BHK?
It's a 3 BHK and 4 BHK product, and project is a one single building. It's a ground plus 50 story. We are having a 1 lakh square feet of commercial area where we are offering the high street retail, and there are 218 apartments. We are having 5 floors, 5 levels of parking, and 41 habitable floors.
What is the total cost of the project?
Total cost of projects is 1,200 crore.
And are you ready for the 70% escrow as well?
Yeah, we are ready for that.
Okay. And my last question now, with the High Court banning, constructions, permissions for new constructions in Mumbai, has it affected any new construction projects
Fortunately, we were having the approvals for our ongoing projects, and any further new projects, we will wait for the outcome of the litigation. But wherever we are having approvals, we are ongoing with the construction activity.
Away from all of that, it's been a year since two massive earthquakes ripped through Nepal, killing more than 8,000 people. As Nepal marks the first anniversary of that devastating earthquake, Magic Bricks Now's Kamya Verma finds out how the country has been doing. Take a look.
Hi there, I Kamya Jani Verma welcome you to the fascinating land of natural beauty, Nepal. High in the Himalayas lies a small country with its lofty mountains, deep valleys, lush jungles, exotic wildlife and diverse people. I began to enjoy the spectacular panoramic view of the city, the broken structures around caught my attention and reminded me of the deadly event. But exactly a year ago, a drastic incident not only changed the shape of the economy but also the landscape of the country. On April 25th and May 12th, two devastating earthquakes killed more than 9,000 people, destroying houses as well as historic monuments and leaving many homeless. Many of Swayambhunath structures suffered considerable damage in the earthquake of April 2015. The Anantapura Shikara to the left of the steps toppled and there was serious damage to buildings on the west side of the stupa. Khatmandu, Langtang, Hilambo and Manslu were amongst the most affected areas. And somewhere among the immense spew of mud brick and broken timber, many found temporary homes in camps and tent. Nepal is yet to find its feet.
The last year, for instance, has been very difficult, especially because of the earthquake. But one thing I really admire, and I'm very impressed with the Nepalese people, is their resilience, their ability to stand up to difficulties, to cope with natural disasters. So hats off to them. The government of India has pledged $1 billion for the earthquake effort. And some of the sectors that we've identified are heritage, because with heritage is connected tourism, livelihood, culture, also rebuilding of houses, infrastructure such as roads, transmission lines, education, health facilities. So we look forward very much to working with the government to speed up the reconstruction process.
Not only the Indian government but also many organizations like Mission Rebuild Nepal are trying hard to bring the country back on its feet.
After 1 month of the earthquake, we took permission from government and started building transitional shelters, which are actually one house can last up to 7 years. So we'll be handing over 500 houses. So that means 2,000 people will be benefited by our transitional shelters.
However, Nepal is still affected by fuel shortages following a diplomatic dispute with India, and this has forced up the price of transport around the country.
And And with that, it's a wrap here on this edition of the Property News. But we've got lots more happening on Magic Bricks Now, so don't go anywhere. But this is Krishna Kumar signing off.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.